How's it going, everybody? Brett Mix here, Macho Wrestling 101. We're back with another King of the Ring review. It's 1997 this time, June the 8th, 1997, from the Providence Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island. We get a decent event here at best. It's really sort of a one-match show, but it does have a couple other entertaining parts, and we'll get to that. I first want to say smash that up and hit the subscribe button if you've not already done so. We do these history of wrestling videos every day on this channel. Plus, I stick up to date with Raw, SmackDown, and the like. First off, we're going to get a semifinal match between Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China and Ahmed Johnson. This was before Triple H became the game, but he's even called that. He's even called a student of the game by Vince McMahon on commentary. He's with Jim Ross. No King on the night because King's wrestling. So it's just Jim Ross and Vince, but Vince says, Hunter's will start another game. I can't do his voice anymore. I used to be able to when I was a kid. That wasn't a good impression of it, so. But anyways, I did that voice a little bit more. Not the commentary Vince, the heel Vince. Anyways, Ahmed Johnson with the power game. Hunter Hearst Helmsley was more of a technical wrestler. Johnson hit his power moves. The fans were into that because it's the first match of the show and they're excited. Not because Ahmed Johnson's some great wrestler, because I assure you he's not. Triple H, like I said, works the technical style, so he tries to get a different type of pace going with Ahmed, but Ahmed just no-sells everything and ends up hitting a sloppy spine buster. Triple H ends up getting the victory here with a knee to the back and then a pedigree at 7:42. So he's off to the finals, and Hunter was supposed to win the King of the Ring the year before, but he did the curtain call incident, so he hugged Nash Hall and Shawn Michaels after a house show cage match in Madison Square Garden when Hall and Nash left for WCW, so he gets punished, and he had to eat a lot of losses in 1996. This was his payback, and he gets the 1997 crown. We're not quite there yet, but he went to the finals with this victory. I rate the match a star just because it was pretty bad. That's pretty much it. Mankind versus Jerry the King Lawler in the second semifinal. So the winner of this goes on to face Triple H, who is still Hunter Hearst Helmsley, but I'll just keep calling him Triple H because I have a hard time calling him Helmsley. Mankind was morphing into a face at the time, and not the face with the white shirt and the tie that we all came to know and love, but he's dressed in all brown. But the fans were just starting to like him, and Goldust too in the next match. It's kind of weird having them cheer Goldust and Mankind when they're both pretty much the same characters they were when they were heels in 1996, the year before this. But they were the faces in these matches, especially the King. The King came out roasting the audience again. So this would be a different type of match between Lawler and Mankind. They didn't have the greatest in-ring chemistry. It wasn't exactly Flair Steamboat, but Mankind did some pretty sick bumps in this match. And they put over how he has a bad neck. So that's going to go into his finals match with Helmsley, as Mankind's the winner at 10:23 with the Mandible Claw. I rate this match a star and a half, mainly just for the bumps Foley took. Backstage, they do a Brian Pillman promo, and Austin sneaks up from behind and then flushes Pillman's head in the toilet, which was classic. Then next, Crush with the Nation of Domination versus Goldust with Marlena. Crush is out first, and the Nation walk with him. This was back when Savio and Farouk were the three-man Nation with a bunch of guys on the outside like Clarence Mason, D'Lo Brown, and the Rappers. But the Rappers weren't there at this pay-per-view. Crush would go to work with Goldust here. Goldust was the face, as I just mentioned before, and Crush had a reverse chinlock in this match, and it seemed to last 20 minutes at least, and it was just bad. This match I rate a dud. Goldust gets the victory at 9:56. It was a bad match. Let's just putting it mildly. The crowd was bored to tears. Next up, they got the Legion of Doom with Psycho Sid versus Owen, Bulldog, and Neidhart. So at least you got some good wrestling here and some good action, because LOD were past their prime, but they still were over and they were still able to kick ass. Whereas Owen and the Bulldog, they're able to, their chemistry as a tag team was just great. Jim Neidhart was even good too still. So you had a pretty good match here, a pretty good 6-man tag. Owen gets the sunset flip after Sid hits the hot tag and hits power moves on everyone. Owen gets a sunset flip on Sid, but sort of botches the landing. Sid botches the landing. He didn't go down. Owen had to re-grab his legs. And Owen gets the victory at 13:37. So the Hart Foundation win. I rated the match 2 stars and a quarter. Next up, the King of the Ring finals, Mankind versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China. The first half of the match was boring. It was that kind of night. The action, they had Vader, who was injured. Shawn Michaels just came back from an injury. Bret Hart was injured. Pillman was injured. Rocky Maivia was too new. This is why Farouk main evented at the King of the Ring pay-per-view here, because no offense to Farouk, but they were low on talent in this event, and the matches they booked weren't the greatest. Foley and Triple H were capable of so much more, but the first half really sucked. The second half, Helmsley really kicked the shit out of Mankind, and Mankind already had taken big bumps on the night with his match with Lawler. So this ends up being a good match. I rate it 3.5 stars. Helmsley wins at 19:25. He pedigreed Mankind through a table, the announce table, not the Spanish announce table, but the actual table Vince and Jim Ross were commentating at. And then he pedigrees him in the ring, and then China hits him with a scepter, and Triple H becomes the King of the Ring. So 3.5 stars for that match at 19:25. The end justified the means. It ended up being good. So Helmsley gets his crown, I'd rather. The Hart Foundation come to the ring and cut a promo about wanting 5 American wrestlers to face them at the Canadian Stampede. He says any 5 in the WWF. He didn't say if they had to be American, but he says that all the American wrestling fans would deserve payback. So next up, we have Austin and Michaels, and I can't emphasize enough that this was before their injuries. Austin before his neck injury and Michaels before his back injury. 2 guys in their prime. Austin said in his DVD, the bottom line on the most popular star in the WWF, the 4-disc DVD, about like 2011 or 2010, he came out with. He said that he wrestled Michaels to a match at a house show in 1997 that was like a 5-star match, and I wish I could have seen that, because this match is just excellent. I rate it 4.5 stars. It was a double DQ. Austin stunned Tim White, the referee, and Shawn Michaels super kicked Mike Chioda. So Earl Hebner ran in the ring and disqualified both men, who were tag team champions at the time. So both men were faces, but Austin was taking off, and the men were cheering for Austin, and the ladies were screaming for Michaels. This match is just... It still holds up today as a great match. Both guys were in full gear. They got over 20 minutes to work. They went 22-29. And if it's a one-match show, it's this match here. So it's worth watching the show for this match. I'll put it that way. The Undertaker versus Farouk. And Farouk has a great line. I know. It's not damn. Farouk says, because The Undertaker had blackmail from Paul Bearer, and Farouk says, you better be worried about this blackmail. Get it? So that was Farouk's line, and I thought it was clever. This was just an average match. I like Undertaker's jump out to the Nation. He jumped over the ropes, clearing the Nation. That's always an impressive spot with a man of his size, for that agility that it shows. Taker gets the win at 13:43 after the tombstone and a choke slam. I rate it 2.5 stars. It was just an average match. Afterwards, there's more blackmail by Paul Bearer. Ahmed Johnson comes to ring. There's arguing, and the show pretty much just ends like that. So I give it a 5 out of 10 for Austin Michaels, Helmsley Mankind final, and just 1997. I love that year. So I'll give it a passing grade of 5 out of 10. But next year's King of the Ring is going to be special, 1998. So be sure to tune in for that one. Hit like and subscribe. I'm Brett Mix for King of the Ring 1997, and that's it. I'm out. Have a good one, guys.